There are many roads in the UK where strange phenomena take place. Some quite famous, others only known locally. Here we're diving into one of the most mysterious stretches of roads in the northwest. It's the A675, running roughly only 10 miles from Bolton all the way up to the M65 going towards Blackburn. This road winds through some of Lancashire's most remote and atmospheric landscapes. But it's not just the scenery that makes this road special, it's what's been reported along its 10-mile length. From strange lights in the skies to UFO sightings, from glimpses of shadowy entities to tales of werewolves stalking the woodland's edges. People have even claimed to see thunderbirds, giant winged creatures straight out of folklore, silhouetted against the skyline. The A675 is no ordinary road. It seems to attract the weird, the unexplained, and the downright terrifying. So buckle up and take a drive through some of the strangest and most chilling accounts linked to this haunted stretch of tarmac. This is the A675, a road where reality blurs into legend. Our journey begins at a quiet location that is at the side of this road, an area marked by two small fishing reservoirs. In 1998, a witness had an experience in the reservoirs just behind me. He worked locally, but had had a night off, and he decided to come here and do some night fishing with 4 friends. As they were fishing on the edge of the reservoir, all of a sudden, like a light switch coming on from above, the whole place was just all lit up. The witness remembered he actually jumped out of his chair and crouched down on the floor because it had shocked him that much. He did think that it was an helicopter, and then they realised there was no sound coming from this. It was just a bright light above him. Then at this point, the light itself went up into the sky, got a little bit smaller, and shot off just in the direction in front of me, straight towards the mast at Winter Hill. And then, after that, they gathered their stuff up with the fish that they'd caught that evening and headed off back to the car to get out of here because it had shook them up that much. Now, with working nights and his other colleagues at work, he decided to go down and give some of the fish and talk about his experience. And when he got there, one of his friends was outside having a cigarette, and he actually said that he was looking in the direction of Winter Hill and saw a bright light suddenly appear, and then it shot off towards the mast at Winter Hill. So the direction the light went to is the mast behind me. The witness did mention that as it were going towards the mast, it left a trail, and he likened it to the Star Trek Enterprise when it just shoots off, leaving that trail behind. On a summer drive home over the moors, an ordinary evening turned into a moment a family would never quite forget. This is what one of them told me.
We were driving back to Bolton from the Lake District on a warm Sunday night. Heading over the A675 towards Belmont, the sky was still holding the last of the sun in the west, when something strange appeared in the east. At first it was just a bright, shiny disk, slowly spinning and oddly steady. Almost the same size as the sun when you see it low in the sky. It didn't move for a short while, and we watched it, puzzled. Then without warning, it shot off at incredible speed and was gone. My youngest brother slept through the whole thing in the back of the car. He would have been about 10 at the time. My mother was curious and open-minded, and my father shrugged it off as something from the government. My eldest brother, the family skeptic, the kind of man who called anything odd rubbish, later had a sighting of his own. It was the late 1980s. Driving home from work in Preston one winter evening, he crossed the same moorland area near Winter Hill north of Bolton. It was dark, and he watched a large rectangular object glide across the sky. It was glowing a strange blue-purple, and its corners looked rounded, and it moved fast. So fast he couldn't understand why the other drivers didn't seem to notice. and when he rang me later to meet for a drink, he told me what he'd seen. He still calls himself a skeptic, still doesn't chase the idea of the paranormal, but he admits what he saw, and he can't explain it, and neither can myself or my parents.
So there it is, two separate moments, two ordinary drives across the same moorland, two sightings that left more questions than answers. Whether it was government testing, a trick of the light, or something stranger altogether, those nights stayed with them. We come to this area of the A675, looking over towards a field with the cows in. Now above them there is a line of trees, and we've got footage that somebody took while they were walking this area.
Right, I don't know if you can see this. This is weird. This is because of you telling me there were flipping UFOs here. Can you see just above the tree line? Like centre screen. Just keep watching. It's bad because there aren't, this camera's not great. It's zoomed in as far as it'll go. There are some lights. Stop it, Cooper. Oh my God, they've just gone. Oh my God. Right, because you know it's on the side of the hill where there aren't any houses there. Those lights were kind of all clustered together in an upside down kind of a V shape. And they've been getting brighter and darker and brighter and darker, but in the fog. Cooper, don't do it, mate. I'm scared. Stop. I did get a little bit more footage, though. I will send it to you. Oh, my God. Right, now I'm scared. I'm having to record this because this is the weirdest thing. Right. See, can you see these lights here? They're just literally stopped still in the sky, in the fog. Oh, God, I can't even zoom in any further. There aren't any buildings up there. This fog has come right down now. That's because I kind of live up that way on the top of the hill. But those lights, you can just about make them out now. And I got told the other day that there'd been some alleged UFO sightings up here, and I've no idea what those lights are. It's just a shame you can't see them properly. You can probably just make them out, but they seem to be going brighter and dim and then like glowing, because that's really thick fog. Can you see them? What the hell?
Just a few yards further along, we reach a no-knock spot, a place where more than a handful of strange and unexplained encounters have been reported over the years. A couple coming back from Blackpool one evening, at this very point, saw something coming out of the bushes and the trees just behind me and across the road. They explained it as being something as big as a whale, in the same shape as well, without that tail on the end, all metallic and swirling inside, and it came hovering across the road, and it moved a couple of inches off the floor all the way around, and even when it got to the fencing, it moved up, over, down, and straight off towards Winter Hill, which is in the direction in front of me.
About 3 or 4 years ago, coming along, I forgot what the road's called. It's between Abbey Village and Belmont, and there's like a big lake at the side of it and a forest, and there's like a farm there, and I think they breed Dover, and they've got a little lake at the side. We were driving down there and it was just going dark, just on the dark side, and I saw this dog, and it was stood at gate. Literally, it was a big dog, a big black dog. I thought it was one at Dobermans that they bred.
Yeah.
And as we got nearer, it kind of run in front, and it just completely, it just disappeared. It didn't go into woods at all. I know that for a fact, because we looked into woods, I looked behind the car, I looked everywhere, it had completely gone. It's like the car just went straight through it, like it was there 1 minute and just completely disappeared the next. I've never seen anything like it, and I don't want to see anything like it. I thought we'd hit something, but there was no bump, there was nothing. Nothing. You'd expect if you'd hit a dog, you'd know about it. So we definitely, I don't know what it were. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. It was horrible because I actually thought we killed something. And I know that you hit something, it makes a bang. And that didn't do anything, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it was like, have I imagined it? And I said, no, I saw it and he saw it. We both saw it. I couldn't tell you what breed it was. It did actually look like a Doberman. The size of a Doberman, it was big. It was big, but it was all black. With Dobermans usually have a bit of black and tan. And it didn't look like a normal dog. You know what I mean? It didn't look right. And it did freak me out a bit, I must admit. But it was there 1 minute and then it just gone. And it was like, where the hell has it gone? And I've not seen anything like it since. It's never happened since. And I always look at that farm gate. It was stood right at that farm gate. And it bolted in front of us and it just disappeared. Just completely disappeared. Whether it was a spirit, I don't know. I really don't know. But I've never seen anything like that before. Like the black dog, I wasn't happy about that at all. It really, really freaked me out. I saw it with my own eyes. And so did him indoors. There's no disputing in what I saw. And I really don't want to see that creature again. No, but it weren't normal. And I looked into the woods and there was nothing. And I thought, we must have hit it. Because it was so near and it was so in front, we must have hit it. We can't possibly have not hit that thing that was there.
In April 2023, a wild camper was here in this spot, camping. He'd had his tent set up just behind me. A fire just about starting in the fire pit just there. And then all of a sudden he heard a noise just over in that direction. As he looked up, he saw this outline of a person, but it was almost see-through. It was a shadow entity that he saw just stood there near to where the road is. Now he said he saw this thing and it was just shimmering, moving from left to right, just watching him. At that point, he left his stuff behind, picked up his bag that was near him, and then ran off in the direction in front of me. As he was running, he came to a little stream. As he got to that stream, he realised he couldn't jump over, so he started running down the stream, knowing that there was a path further down that would get him to where his parked van was. As he got to this area, he looked up, felt safe enough to look around and look behind him. At that point he saw this thing again, this shadow being, this shadow entity, just stood there swaying and watching the direction he was going in. He ended up running at this point until he got a bit short of breath and he started walking a little bit when he could see the white of his van just near the road. As he headed towards his van, he got closer and closer, and then at that point felt okay to turn around and have a quick glimpse. 3 foot behind him, this shadow entity was just almost looming over him. At that point he just didn't know what to do apart from get in his van and go as quick as he could to get home. Now this account frightened the man so much that he got his family together and they moved to an high-rise flat in Manchester, to the point where he's frightened of going out and going into the local parks around there. I walk with Jim along the narrow path that runs parallel to the road. The air feels heavy here, the silence broken only by the crunch of our footsteps. Then Jim begins to speak and recalls a strange account that happened to him.
It was at this point where I could hear children in the wood vividly.
Yeah.
At least 5 to 6, 4, 5, 6 kids playing around in the wood, very loud. So straight away I thought to myself, kids shouldn't be playing in that wood. What are children doing in there? So then it got me thinking. It did spook me a bit then, but I carried on walking. So it was at this point here, I did walk up to that gate, but my curiosity got the better of me. I backed up, I came in here, and I walked straight in. Then I went over to that way, in the direction of the noise from the children. There was nothing whatsoever. I thought, where are they? I did walk that way for a few yards. Then I thought, there's nobody here. I backed up. Next minute I see this big box, grey in colour. There was no handles or nothing. It was just absolutely grey in colour and plain. Didn't know what it was. Couldn't understand it. Box here. Big, grey in colour. There, plain to see. But I weren't that close. I was about from here, about 12 or 15 yards away, Mick. And I could see the box plainly. Grey in colour, because I thought, what is it? But as I walked forward with it, I thought, don't get near it, you man. I don't trust it. That's all I thought. I thought, the kids, to me, the kids were the lure to see this. I'm sure though, if I'd have walked up to that, I don't think I'd have been here. I backed up and got out of it and went on my way. That's all I can tell you.
What could this strange object be? The one that seemed to draw Jim closer as it held some unseen pull over him. He couldn't explain why, but every step towards it felt inevitable. The questions hang heavy, unanswered, leaving only the chill of the unknown. 3 witnesses coming back from Kendal in the winter 20 years previous, going through Abbey Village, heading to Belmont, spotted in the woods on the left side very bright lights and a triangle-shaped craft, surrounded with beings moving around within the light. He said it was in winter time between 8 PM and 9 PM, so by this time it was very dark, and because he was a passenger, he was looking out of the window to his left-hand side and saw this in the middle of the trees. He was trying to get his father-in-law, who was driving the van, to stop, but he wouldn't. Looking back, the witness said he was glad now he didn't stop. The witness told me it was a UFO. It was triangle-shaped. It was on the ground and there were things moving about it. It was like a Christmas tree with different coloured lights flashing on and off all around it. We've reached our final account from the A675, and it's one that has become something of a legend in its own right. This isn't just a fleeting sighting or a whispered tale. This is a famous case, remembered and retold time and time again. It marks a point where the road's mysteries step firmly into local folklore.
It took place, investigated by Arthur Tomlinson from DIGAT, which was the Direct Investigation Group of Aerial Phenomena, I think it was called. He was based in Manchester. I knew Arthur. He was a good guy and done some very interesting cases. He was involved in the Ilkley Moor alien case. I think he was one of the principal investigators before others, took it on board a bit. And even I was done a little bit of research on that. So what was interesting is that he got this case, and it's of a girl, and she's going home, and there's this incident with a UFO in that location again. This time the object's very close, and she panics, manages to get away from this, gets home, but she has an effect. She's been affected by this incident. There was a problem with her teeth. I mean, she's never had a problem with her teeth. It's not every day something all sort of, teeth started crumpling. Something happened to her that may be linked to this experience. But when it started getting really interesting, her father was a no-nonsense guy. Knock at the door the following day or so. There's these guys there, men in black, want to talk to her. Now, she knows her dad was this sort of guy, say, who the hell are you? You're not coming in here, well, da-da-da-da-da. He's just like, no problem, and opens the door to them and lets them come in, and he sits there, and she's confused. he's allowing them to interrogate her in his house, in front of him, and he didn't say a word. And she sat there thinking, looking at her dad thinking, what the hell's going on here, Dad? Why are you allowing this? He interrogated her to the point of what she's seen, and you are not to talk about it, you're not to say anything, and and the usual routine. And then they go, they asked him, did you take any pictures? Have you told who have you been in touch with? Who have you told? She'd only told her mum and dad and one friend at that time, as far as I'm aware, from what Arthur told me. And off they vanished. I think they were intrigued to find out if there was anybody who had taken any photographs, if the visual evidence, or who they'd been in touch with. But it was just the word of warning: don't talk to anybody about it. You already knew that. There'd been 3 people involved now, that she told mum, dad, and a friend. So it was a control of the situation. But they were there the next day, I think, as far as I'm aware, and it was very fast. There again, the resources are very, very good. And we're talking about a similar location at Winter Hill, and another UFO incident. It's not the only one. And it's interesting when you start to think, okay, this is another one then. What is this object that she saw? She described it as a structured craft, of course, not a ball of light. I don't know. No idea. But it's not the only case up there on Winter Hill of many black type stuff. So, what is the attraction? What's the attraction to Winter Hill?
We have seen the A675 as far more than just a road cutting across the moors. It's a place where strange stories seem to gather, from shadowy figures glimpsed at the roadside to phantom dogs and the unexplainable lights in the sky. This stretch of road carries a reputation for mystery that stretches back decades. Why here? Some believe the answer lies within the land itself. The A675 passes over ancient routes, old burial grounds and natural energy lines, areas steeped in folklore long before tarmac was laid. Others suggest the moorland's isolation, shifting weather and play of light can create illusions, turning shadows into entities, animals into apparitions, and distant aircraft into UFOs. Perhaps it's a mixture of both. A landscape with a deep, sometimes dark history, where unusual conditions meet human perception and belief. Whatever the cause, one thing is clear: the A675 continues to be a place where reality and legend blur, and the road itself seems to hold on to its secrets just that little bit longer.